On the News Channel 5 network, this is OpenLine.
Hello everyone, welcome to Open Line on Tuesday night. I am Ben Hall. Very interesting show. We are talking about a bill that was just signed by Governor Haslam today. And at issue is, what should we do with mothers who use drugs? And there has been a lot of debate about criminalizing this, or does it discourage treatment? And there was a bill that the governor signed today that does several things, and that's what we're going to talk about. And we want your opinion. What do you think about this? I want to introduce the sponsor of this bill, Representative Terry Lynn Weaver, Republican from Lancaster. Thank you for being with us.
Hi, thank you, Ben. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
So let's just tell people about the bill first. What does your bill, which is now law, what does it do?
Well, the policy is designed to get women help. And of course, by getting help to the mothers, then we eventually bring help to the children. And the intent is to bring healing and get them clean, and bring wholeness to them and restore families. So that's the intent of the bill. This bill will address women who deal only in illegal narcotics, and a lot of these women, I don't know if you've ever talked to some of these women who've been in drug courts, but their mindset is to how to get the next drug. So they're not even thinking about prenatal care. But this piece of legislation will grab some of those women, and then this bill will work hand in hand with a bill we passed last year called Safe Harbor. So we're all reaching towards the same goal, and that's to get women help and get babies help as well.
On Friday, the governor received 10,000 signatures, a petition with 10,000 signatures asking him to veto this bill, saying that it would, putting moms in prison would discourage them from getting treatment, both prenatal and from getting drug treatment. What do you think about that?
Well, again, the bill is to put an eye on treatment, not punishment. So I think there was a lot of miscommunication on what the bill is ended up in its amended form to be, and that happens a lot. And so again, I don't see, we're not out there trying to lasso up women and look under rocks and try to grab them and punish them. We're trying to get them help so that they can, as we said before, receive what they need, and that's why this bill is a good piece of legislation. And I think once the message gets out and what it does, it pulls back not the anger, for lack of word, but it just gives them an understanding of what the bill does.
And we already have a few calls. I want to ask, if you're on the phone, hold on. We are going to show a story that kind of talks about what happened on Friday. This, in fact, was filed on Friday by Mark Bellinger, and he talks about the petitions and some of the national attention that this issue has gotten. Then we'll come back and talk a little bit more with Representative Weaver. So let's take a look at the story from Friday from Mark Bellinger.
Great. Hi, Elise. I'm with Planned Parenthood. Hi.
They waited until the last minute to oppose what they say is a bill that criminalizes pregnant women in Tennessee.
Locking up new mothers and expecting mothers is not what's best for our city or for our state.
Healthy and Free Tennessee collected more than 10,000 signatures on a petition.
And we're asking him to veto Senate Bill 1391.
It asked Governor Bill Haslam to veto a bill passed this year by state lawmakers.
And there are so many people that are with us.
Legislation reinstates a law that was repealed 2 years ago. Under the law, prosecutors can charge a woman with assault if she delivers a baby addicted or harmed by a narcotic drug she was illegally using while she was pregnant.
What women need is health care. They don't need to be put in prison.
The bill is headed to Governor Bill Haslam for his signature.
We hope that Haslam pauses and thinks about the women of Tennessee and thinks about the families in Tennessee and thinks about what's right for them.
This bill will affect 342 women. That's 342 babies.
The sponsor of the bill was Representative Terry Lynn Weaver.
If they would read the actual piece of the language.
The Lancaster Republican says the bill is designed to help a woman and her unborn child.
I think it's a great bill.
She says the bill targets addicted women who would never seek help like drug treatment or prenatal care on their own.
They're not thinking about life inside the belly. Their next thought is one thing and one thing only. It's the next fix. So they're not going to get treatment anyway.
Weaver says the numbers of women giving birth to addicted babies is on the rise in Tennessee.
This is not a deterrent.
Healthy and Free Tennessee agrees. members say the new law is the wrong approach, and there's another way to get addicted pregnant women into treatment.
We don't think that pregnant women who are seeking prenatal care need to have the fear of criminalization that would prevent them from getting the kind of treatment that they need. Because our interest is making...
So that was Mark Bellinger, and you heard some of the comments. We saw you in that story. They're saying the threat of prison or jail is not what these women need, and it discourages treatment again. What do you say to that?
I say, well, I can give you an example of the drug program that's in Memphis, Tennessee, the Drug Addicted Babies program, and there's a facility called Life Choices, and their numbers are like 24 women, pregnant women per year come to see them, and these are women who are, having issues with drugs. And out of those 2,400 women, there has never been one case where any of those women thought the chilling effect of or have the fear of being prosecuted or charged. Again, these women they're not seeking prenatal care because they are doing drugs and they're thinking about the next drug. So again, House Bill 1295 is another tool in the toolbox when these women are gathered by DAs or law enforcement, and they're presented before a judge. The judge can say, "Sweetie, here, we can get you some help. You can get prenatal care. We can get you counseling, parenting classes, and you can go to drug court, or you can receive this charge." But again, that can't even happen until after the baby is born and the baby tests positive to drugs. So this is a bill that encourages women to go the right direction and to get help. And we've seen this over and over again. I've been to the drug courts, the one here in Davidson County. Judge Norman has a fabulous facility. I've talked to these ladies, and I mentioned what was said there on the film clip. I said, Did you ever think of getting an abortion? Did you ever think of fearing charge? She says, they've said absolutely not. Again, my thought was, I need my next drug. So this will actually apprehend them and keep them where they can get help. So
that is one of, and I have heard you bring up abortion. There's some concern among some, I guess, that women, if they fear that the child would be born addicted to the drug and would test in that way, and that could be a criminal outcome for the mom, that it might lead the mom to do away with the baby.
But it's a misdemeanor. And if she stays in a drug facility and successfully gets through that process, those charges can be removed and expunged from her record. So there's an incentive and there's a reward for her to stay, because that's the ultimate goal, is to get her clean and to get the baby well and get these families back together so she can have her children.
We have a few calls. I want to go ahead and open up the phones. There's the number 737 plus 737-7587. Rena is on line 1. Hello, Rena.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
And Representative, how are you tonight?
Hi, great. How are you, Miss Rena?
Great. I was sitting there here just listening a little bit, and I've been thinking about women and their plight recently, particularly younger women, and how there seems to be, with the government moving away from supported programs for women, teenage mothers and other women who are unable to support themselves. I start thinking what women need to do to make their futures better. And one thing they need is to become independent financially. And the only way that can be done is that they get educated. So I think that I don't agree with the law, first of all, because it seems like it's just a punitive measure. I think the key is education, to have a comprehensive educational outreach program for women as a regular part of the government community outreach. to get women before they get in the situation, and also to do a better job with domestic violent situations, because a lot of these women who use drugs come out of a violent situation and they have no help, and so they resort to all kinds of things to survive.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of that. Thank you, Rena, for the call. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm for any way, shape, or form we can get help to women. I mean, there's a lot of community programs available. There's church facilities that work in getting education out to some of these ladies too. And then again, this is not the House Bill 1295 is not the only ways and means. I mean, it's just it's a small part of helping bring accountability and treatment to the forefront. So, yes, I believe that we should use all measures, but we have an epidemic here, Ben. The state of Tennessee is #1 in drug-addicted babies and women doing illegal narcotics in our state. I mean, we don't want to be known for that. So we have an epidemic here, and again, any measure we can gather together to work at bringing wholeness and cleaning these gals up, getting back with their families is a positive. And even the bill itself says this: we offer a positive affirmative to these women when they successfully go through this court. So you have to have an incentive, and you have to have a reason for women to want to come clean.
Tennessee's #1 for drug-addicted babies. Okay, we're going to take a break. If you want to call, there's the number, 737-PLUS, 737-7587. We will take a break. Be back right after this.
So far, so good.
Yeah.